You've had the thought. Maybe when the news was on, or during a debate where both candidates seemed kind of off, you thought, I could do that. But here's the thing, statistically speaking, you almost certainly cannot. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you lack charisma, but because the United States has a very specific, very strange checklist that rules out the vast majority of the 8 billion people on this planet. So today, why can't we be president? The Constitution says you must be a natural-born citizen. Sounds simple. It is not. This phrase has never been fully defined by the Supreme Court, but the general understanding is you had to be an American citizen at the moment of birth, either by being born on U.S. soil or born abroad to at least one American parent. That immediately eliminates roughly 7.7 billion people on Earth. Every immigrant who came here legally, worked here, built a life here, paid taxes here, they can become citizens, they can serve in Congress, they can even become Secretary of State, but they can never be president. Arnold Schwarzenegger, born in Austria, governor of California, yes. President, never. Elon Musk, born in South Africa, richest man in the world. Commander-in-Chief? Nope. And here's the wild part. Nobody truly knows what natural-born fully means. It's a 200-year-old clause that the courts have never been forced to definitively rule on. Next rule, you have to be at least 35 years old. At first, this seems reasonable. You want someone with life experience. But think about it. You can drive at 16. You can vote at 18. You can die for your country in the military at 18. You can run for Congress at 25 or Senate at 30, but you can't be president until 35. Interestingly, the US sets the bar higher than many democracies. In France, you can run for president at 18. In Germany, technically 40, but only in a formal sense. The youngest person ever to serve as president was Theodore Roosevelt. He was 42 when he took office after McKinley was assassinated. The youngest elected was JFK at 43. So the floor is 35, but America has never really tested it. Third rule, you must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. Not necessarily consecutive years, not your most recent 14 years. Just 14 years total across your lifetime, at least according to most interpretations. This rule exists to ensure the president actually knows the country they're governing. But it raises weird edge cases. What if you were born in the US, moved abroad as a child, and came back as an adult? What counts? Again, the courts have never given a clean answer. In practice, no presidential candidate has ever been seriously challenged on this one. But the ambiguity is there. Here's one that didn't always exist. If you've already been president twice, you're done. The two-term limit wasn't even law until 1951. Before that, it was just a tradition started by George Washington, who voluntarily stepped down after 2 terms, setting a norm that everyone followed for over 150 years. Then came FDR. Franklin Delano Roosevelt won 4 consecutive presidential elections. He served from 1933 until his death in 1945. Congress decided, never again. The 22nd Amendment was ratified and the 2-term limit became law. What's interesting, a president who served 2 full terms is permanently barred. But someone who served as president briefly, say finishing out another president's term, might technically be eligible to run twice more. The rule is specific. No one can be elected president more than twice. Here's the part nobody writes into law, but everyone knows is true. The technical requirements to run for president are almost laughably easy to meet. What actually stops most people is the unofficial checklist. You need hundreds of millions of dollars or access to people who have it. You need name recognition across 330 million people. You need a major party to back you. Third-party candidates almost never win. You need years of political experience or extraordinary celebrity, or both. You need to be willing to have every aspect of your life examined, dissected, and weaponized. The Constitution asks, Are you 35, born here, lived here? Politics asks, are you wealthy, connected, famous, and willing to sacrifice your privacy forever? That's the real barrier. So, why can't we be president? Officially, maybe you were born in another country. Maybe you're under 35. Maybe you've already served twice. Unofficially, the money, the machine, the scrutiny, the sacrifice. It filters out almost everyone before a single vote is cast. The Founding Fathers designed a system that was supposed to be open to any qualified citizen. But somewhere between 1789 and now, the presidency became something most people are excluded from before they ever try. Which maybe explains why we keep having the same thought watching the news. I could do that. If you found this interesting, subscribe. Next week we're asking, why can't we cure the common cold? Spoiler, the answer is way more frustrating than you'd expect.